Hello, my name is Joshua Heaney, and I am a saxophonist and educator. I hope this video can bring you a nice bit of distraction during the pandemic situation, and that you all keep safe and sane during this period of uncertainty for everyone. Today, I have a very interesting item to review, the brand new Claude Delangle Mouthpiece from Selmer, Paris. Now, before we really dive in, I want to give a big thank you to the folks at Selmer for giving me this test unit and making this review possible. Anyway, so the Claude Delangle Mouthpiece just got released fall 2019 in collaboration, obviously, with the man himself, Claude Delangle, and Selmer Paris. Now, Claude Delangle is a notorious virtuosic soloist who seeks out a very certain tone quality in his equipment, and he's also known for experimenting a lot in the realm of saxophone acoustics as well as sound emission. This mouthpiece is interesting because it combines both the traditional ebonite that we usually see in most mouthpieces, as well as a gold-plated bore and interior for the mouthpiece, which he claims harkens back to the original designs of some of Adolphe Sax's very first mouthpieces with the metal ring. This is a very interesting opportunity for Selmer Paris because, apart from the Larry Teal mouthpieces that used to be manufactured some time ago, this is the only product in their lineup that currently has an artist's name in the product and such a strong association with a living, breathing player. So if we look at the box, we see it's very nicely presented with gold embossing on the packaging itself. On the box, you'll see there is a message from Claude Delangle that says, "I will entrust to you a precious companion. This mouthpiece will resonate with your energy on each and every stage," which is a little bit flowery, but nice. The box says that the opening of the mouthpiece is 1.65 millimeters, which is a little bit more open than a Selmer S90-190, and the length of the table is 24 millimeters, which is about the same as every other Selmer Paris mouthpiece these days. Now, you may have seen some photos and videos around the internet, but the unboxing experience for this product is very surreal because not only do you get this very nice packaging, but you also get a box for the mouthpiece itself to live in, as well as the usual Selmer Paris felt bag, and of course, the very nice mouthpiece itself. Seeing as the mouthpiece costs over $300 here in the United States, I think it's really nice that they went the extra mile to give a premium unboxing experience. Finally, Selmer Paris claims that the metal ring inside this mouthpiece provides additional resonance as well as projection and clarity to the tone. Now, of course, resonance is a very loaded term and can mean a lot of different things to different people. However, when holding it in the hand, you can just feel it is a significant addition in weight. Not only is it a brass insert and ring on the mouthpiece, but it's also gold-plated, so there's some real heft to it here. Now, I must admit, I don't subscribe to the heavy mass theory of saxophone tone improvement. You won't find any heavy mass neck screws or braces or anything else on my instrument in order to improve the tone, because I don't think they really make much of a difference. But seeing as we're on the mouthpiece, there's always potential for changes. This is really the first kind of mouthpiece that I have seen do anything like this. Before we get to playing it, I just wanted to remind you guys of my usual setup. So first, I play a Selmer Series 3 Alto Saxophone, which, as I've said many times, is a really neutral horn and I think lets the mouthpiece speak for itself. My normal mouthpiece is a Selmer S90-190 with an Ishimori Ligature. There is one small change for this video though. I'm using a Legere 3¼ reed rather than my usual D'Addario reeds because I've had really good success with the Legere reeds lately and I want to keep things consistent from mouthpiece to mouthpiece in this video. Let's dive in. So as you can hear, there are some very interesting differences between these two setups, so let me just talk about it really quick. First, I think the mouthfeel of these mouthpieces is a little bit different because the Selmer S90 has a standard mouthpiece shape, just a regular incline on the beak, whereas the Selmer Claude Delangle mouthpiece has a little bit more of a duckbill shape, which I think gives it a very interesting, if not a little bit more comfortable feel in the mouth. I also noticed that extra 0.10 millimeters in tip opening. I feel like I can put a bit more air into the Claude Delangle mouthpiece, which is really valuable if you're trying to play over an orchestra or as a soloist in general. The Claude Delangle mouthpiece offers even more possibilities to push and project. I also feel that the metal bore and ring makes a really big difference, not only to the tone, but also to the player feedback. You may know this, but when we play our mouthpieces and saxophones as people, we not only hear the vibration of the air in the room around us, but we also hear the vibrations traveling from the mouthpiece through our skull into our inner ear, which provides a bit of a different experience for the player versus the audience. I think the metal rings in the Claude Delangle mouthpiece not only affect what the audience hears, but also greatly affect the kind of player feedback that you get from the skull vibrations and your mouthpiece. When it comes to the tone, I actually am not exactly sure how to describe the difference, so I had other people listen to my samples and give me their feedback. I had a lot of contradicting feedback. One portion thought it was brighter, and another portion actually thought it was darker. So I kind of dove into the results to see why that may be, and I found out something interesting. When you play a mouthpiece for any pitch, you have the fundamental, which is the exact frequency of the note that you're trying to play. For example, A equals 440 hertz. However, the things that contribute to the timbre or color of a sound are those higher frequencies that also vibrate in addition to the fundamental tone. I found that the Selmer S90 offered a little bit less of the fundamental than the Claude Delangle mouthpiece, but more of the first overtone and then way less of the higher overtones. Conversely, I found the Claude Delangle mouthpiece offered a little bit more fundamental and then way less first overtone and then way more high overtones. So you simultaneously have these mouthpieces that are both brighter and darker, depending on how you listen, what kind of overtones your ears can hear, and as well the things that you prioritize. To my ear, I think the Claude Delangle mouthpiece is just a little bit brighter, especially in that upper register, where I feel the additional mass of the mouthpiece really helps those palm keys and altissimo ping, kind of like that Frederick Hemke or Marcel Mule kind of sound. Conversely, though, I think the lower register of this mouthpiece offers a slightly warmer and fuller tone quality, which is a really nice mix of attributes. When it comes to intonation, I had heard some players express some concern for intonation issues on this mouthpiece, but I personally haven't had many problems. I do think, however, some younger players may face issues because of the larger tip opening, which requires a tiny bit more control. Otherwise, your intonation could start to go out the window if you have to bite in order to control the mouthpiece. All in all, I think this is an extremely unique mouthpiece, and it offers characteristics I haven't found anywhere else. I just keep coming back to this Selmer Claude Delangle mouthpiece. I keep finding more and more things about it that I just like hearing or like experimenting with. As far as value is concerned, I do think this mouthpiece is rather expensive, landing usually between $300 to $350 in the USA. This puts it out of the hands of a lot of players. However, in spite of that high price tag, I think Selmer Paris is justified in pricing it in this way because, one, it's the first of a higher breed of boutique mouthpieces with player associations, and two, it offers really unique features that no other mouthpiece on the market can really claim. And when you branch out of classical saxophone and look at jazz mouthpieces with similar boutique pricing, you'll actually find the Claude Delangle mouthpiece is a bit less expensive compared to something like a Theo Wane mouthpiece. Also, a lot of those mouthpieces don't offer the special unboxing experience, nor the Claude Delangle name, nor the Selmer Paris name behind the product. So ultimately, while it is an expensive mouthpiece, it does things that no other mouthpiece I've ever played or any mouthpiece that's on the market right now can do. If you're a serious player, I definitely recommend trying one out as best you can once Selmer Paris can ship more over to the United States. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I have a few other products that were given to me at the North American Saxophone Alliance that I'm going to be checking out on this channel. You don't want to miss any of that. Also, leave a comment. I'm curious what you think about the sound, and give it a like too if you liked this content. And if you didn't like it, the other button works too. Anyway, this has been Joshua Heaney. I'll see you next time.